Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name is Dennis Tzeng. I'm here with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dorian.
And also...
Joshua Weyers.
All right. It is Friday. It is 1 o'clock. And I've been up since 4:30. I was in San Jose this morning.
You and Jack at the same flight?
Me, Jack, and Mark.
Oh,
and we flew in here. Going to talk about Oculus Connect later. Well, it's still fresh in my mind. But let's talk about some of the bigger news. The Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2.
They gave us a release date. It's February 21st.
Yeah.
Of next year. They gave us a brand new trailer. Me and Dorian did a review of that. So let's just start off with Josh then. What did you think of it?
Well, for the trailer, first of all, the first thing that jumped out for me, which is the first thing that jumped out with the first Last of Us, is the graphics. Obviously, beautiful. The facial tracking, amazing. The acting, amazing. Very happy about that. I want to see where the dynamic goes between Ellie and what was the new character called? Is it Dina?
Yeah, Dina.
Dina's dead, bro. Dina's dead.
Oh, really?
It's in the trailer. I mean, they pretty much imply it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess
she might not be dead. We could have just... We're speculating, but we talked about it, but we feel like that scene where it cuts off where she's like, no, and then goes to black, that's when Dina's dead. And then it transitions to the next part. She's like, all right, I got to do this shit on my own. I got to get my revenge on the people that fucked or should fuck her.
Killed.
Yeah. So...
From what I was reading, I think the thing that stood out the most for me that I'm looking forward to the most, and it's a simple thing that they added, which is just jumping. You know, I'm excited to see how that plays out, getting to new heights, getting into new places, being able to be more vertical, if you will, in terms of exploration. And I've heard that the stealth is incredibly difficult. And then they said they added a dodge, which is cool. But that being said, I'm hoping that they add a jump to the future God of War games as well. If they did it to this one, who knows? Maybe I can see Kratos jumping around in the future. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Could he not? He couldn't jump.
He could jump, but there was no jump button.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like there was no you couldn't run around and being like.
What do you think about Joel's back? It's at the end of the trailer. There's a lot of spoilers in that trailer.
There's a lot of heavy spoilers there. I'm kind of excited for it, to be honest. You know, I love conflict, man.
I feel like they had to show Joel in that trailer just because the voice actor Troy Baker has been teasing it for the past month. So I feel like they were just like, all right, if he's going to be online tweeting and stuff, we might as well just make the reveal that he's back in the game.
Yeah. I mean, he was the face of the first game, so to get the people. I mean, not that a ton of people are still not that are fans of the first one aren't going to get the second one just because he's not in it. But I think just that added push to it. Where does it rank? Because I know I can't judge it yet because I told you I played half, probably not even half, a third of it.
I played more of the multiplayer than anything.
Really? Which, by the way, they're saying there's not going to be any multiplayer.
Man, I'm kind of upset about that because genuinely the multiplayer for The Last of Us was one of my favorite multiplayers that I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in that. I didn't even... Don't hate me out there, but I never really finished The Last of Us 2. I just played a lot of the multiplayer.
Last of Us 2, you mean the first one?
The Last of Us, yeah. I just played a lot of the multiplayer.
That's interesting. I never ever touched the multiplayer, but I just focused on the story itself. So when the news was like, we're not having multiplayer, I was like, all right. I wasn't even checking for it in the first place. So,
but for you, it's one of your favorite games of all time. Yeah. Is it where does it rank?
So I think if not, I think it's the Infamous games are probably my favorite just because I not necessarily grew up on them, but I played those a hell of a lot. I think that's probably on the top of my list. And then I think it's Uncharted and Last of Us are right here.
Where does Spider-Man rank for you?
It's
on.
Spider-Man might be above. I don't know, but The Last of Us for the PS4, PS3, that era, I think Last of Us is probably if not my favorite game.
That is definitely the best game that came out on that generation by far. It pushed the console to its limits as well.
And I don't think I touched the multiplayer once.
Really?
Yeah, not once.
It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
I think I played more of the Uncharted multiplayer than I did or ever did the Last of Us, which I thought was pretty cool. trash at it, but I have fun. That's with me with a lot of the games. Just trash, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that matters, right?
So, speaking is how high you have it ranked, Dorian. What are your feelings of how good this game can be, just from you seeing the trailer and reading? I guess they had like a demo. People got to play it for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Do you think it can be better than the first one? And from your impressions,
I definitely like from what we've seen thus far and how it feels like they are definitely not half-assing or just like trying to make money or just trying to get it out there to please the fans.
Yeah, they've been taking their time.
They're genuinely taking their time. So I think this can definitely be better than the last one just because of how much time and effort they've put into this and just seeing how whenever the creators are putting out a statement, you can see how much passion they have behind that statement because they have a lot of passion for the game. So I think they wouldn't give this to us if they didn't think it would be better if they didn't think it would be a better story than the first one. I don't think they would have thought to make it if they thought or if they didn't think they could outdo the first one. So I think we got another hit on our hands. I think this is going to be the game of the year, hopefully.
And I think naturally, because it's on a more recent system, the graphics obviously look better.
Yeah, look a lot better.
But not just the resolution or fidelity or amount of pixels. It looks more cinematic.
Yeah.
The first game already was cinematic, but this one looks even more so. So much so that I remember that demo from E3 about like a year and a half ago that it was hard to tell that it was like, is this part of the cinematic stuff or someone play? And then they had a demo where they basically showed you exactly what that trailer was, but the guy was playing it to show you that those interactions that happen are like in game versus like, okay, we're cutting to a cutscene here.
I found, like, I mean, I said it in the beginning as well, but I really enjoyed the facial tracking, which it's just, I mean, technology has come such a long way, not just for The Last of Us, but in general. Like, I remember facial tracking in like the early 2010s, even. You know what I mean? Like when people blink and things like that, it just looked weird. Now it's so lifelike. It's almost odd, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they mentioned Ellie can hop fences, jump on cars, move around, just a lot more smoother. Just more options, more smoother than...
She can dodge.
She has stealth abilities. So they're adding, they're not changing the gameplay too much, but they're just kind of adding to it, especially,
updating it, if you will.
And Ellie's a different character than Joel.
Yeah.
So...
She's more agile.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next thing. We've got also a new trailer came out for Jedi Fallen Order. It's all cinematics, no... Like maybe was there any gameplay?
There was a couple. Like there was a couple scenes, like one where he was actually fighting someone and like he did a combo. Combo looked sick as hell. Like he like spun him around and then like cut him in the half. I was like, all right, let's make moves with that. Like because y'all know I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but this. After the first trailer, I was already sold, but after this one, I was like, okay, let's make moves. And and I think they like changed some of because there were some complaints after the first reveal, like some of the details of the how they're holding the saber and stuff like that. And I think they tweaked those a bit. Especially, I think they corrected some of the facial things that were going on with some of the characters too. But overall, I enjoyed the trailer.
Josh?
I'm just so ready for a good Star Wars game. I've been ready for years, man. Like, just give me the game.
Play Vader Immortal, which I'm going to talk about.
I did play a bit of Vader Immortal. That was good. I enjoyed that. But I mean, like, I want a good RPG Star Wars game. You know, like the last one I enjoyed was KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, which was wonderful. I bought it on my mobile device recently. Yeah. Very happy to be playing that, but. No, man, my body's ready. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't an RPG, but it is, more of an action adventure.
Yeah.
Almost like a, Uncharted light, that essence. But, I mean, it's by Respawn, which, for me lately has been nailing it. Like, you had Apex Legends, obviously, that they did, which led me to go back and play Titanfall 2, which I loved. And then also, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, at Oculus Connect, they're doing a game for VR, Medal of Honor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, we got to play it, and like, there's something about the way they do controls. It's always like super smooth.
The last time I played a Star Wars game that was an action adventure game that I enjoyed was The Force Unleashed, which it kind of underrated in my opinion, but I really enjoyed that. So I just want to run around as a Jedi and fuck shit up.
Yeah, I think that some of the combat looks similar, but obviously more varied in this one. I like the trailer, but it's cinematic, so it's like you're like, all right, it looks cool, but it's all about the actual gameplay and how that's gonna feel. And I think we're gonna be able to. I mean, it's coming out fairly soon, right? It's in what's the release date on that
for the
Jedi Fallen Order?
I think November.
Let me take a look at that. Jedi Fallen Order release date
November 15th.
Okay, so yeah, it's relatively soon, less than 2 months away. And I'm sure we're going to get more details and a better look at it sometime in the future.
I know we skimmed over The Last of Us 2, but one of the things I want to bring up is that they really did work the stealth mechanics very well. And one of the things that stood out to me most from reading older reviews was that the humans are like the scavengers. They're way more intense and way more alert, which makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Because they're a lot more intelligent. And they're a lot more human, like to the point where you feel bad for killing them. They have names, they have stories. Apparently, there's one reviewer who was saying he killed someone, walked away. One of the friends walked up and just yelled in anguish that his friend is dead, and now he's going to come and get you. You know what I mean? So I enjoy that sense of realism. It puts a lot more weight to your actions.
Oh man!
Also, piggybacking off of because on the Last of Us news yesterday, there was like a report they're like this is the most you could kill any type of dog in the game you want. Like you can kill a bunch of dogs, and then the game creator had to quote, and it was like only if you want to. Like you don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to kill these dogs. I'm like, all right, cool.
But yeah, those dogs will snuff you out, man.
I can't kill a dog, bro. I can't do it. If they're attacking me, then maybe. But
you better be good at stealth, man. Avoid those things. I can't remember could you go prone in the first Last of Us? I can't remember.
Go what?
Prone.
No.
Lie down.
No.
So they added that. That's quite cool as well. You can go completely prone in the Last of Us 2.
Like lay down.
Yeah.
But even if someone walks up to you, they're gonna see you.
Okay.
Like the gameplay, the stealth is set up in a way where it's like unless you're completely unseen, like it's like true stealth almost. You know what I mean? Not that distant stuff. Like it's if an enemy sees you, they see you. You know?
Yeah.
I like that. Or analog stealth, they're calling it. Yeah.
What percentage of the game would you say was stealth of the first one?
I want to say I could be wrong. 20%. I felt like I was doing more. I guess whenever you're trying to fight a clicker or something, you have to hide behind shit or something like that.
That's the part I end up getting stuck at.
But I wouldn't say I didn't. I'll say I want to say 20% stealth. The rest is just you actually going about your journey and walking around and killing clickers and stuff like that. Could be wrong, but I'm saying a good 20% throughout the whole game is you just having to crouch or be stealth.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of stealth. Which is weird because I love games like Splinter Cell, which has a lot of stealth in there. But
that's high stakes. That's the only time I enjoy stealth is when it's really high stakes. Otherwise, I'm why am I doing this?
I think that's why I enjoy The Last of Us a lot more because like you, I'm not a big stealth type of guy. But the moments that I did have to do, when you're in those intense situations, you have to be real quiet, hide behind this corner, use your flashlight or something. There's clickers around here, those type of stakes. I think really made it.
Well, that's the part I got stuck at and why I ended up not finishing the game because of the save bug, which is there was an area where there was clickers that there's no way you could have killed them all. You had to use stealth, and it was just hard for me. And then I would pass it, and then it wouldn't save, and then I would just continue on to keep going, and then I would die, and then I had to start the whole stealth thing back over again. And so I did that several times. I was like, it pissed me off because I was so upset. I was like, oh, this game's awesome, but you're not letting me enjoy it because I'm passing this part, but then you're making me redo it again. So yeah, and that's why I ended up buying the remaster version, which eventually I will play, even though I don't own a PC.
I'll bring it to the office.
I think there is a term they used, wide linear story. which is a lot of games do that, but I enjoy that where it's like a good chunk of the story you're going to find from just walking around, scavenging, you know what I mean? There's so many multiple options of routes you can take, different pathways you can take. Like they said, you can jump so you can get onto cars, get onto the second floor of places. A lot more routes were opened up, and I quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the clickers jump, though?
I don't know. I know that the dodging function they added is pretty much useless against clickers.
Yeah.
But it's useful against humans and the runners.
Good to know.
All right.
Wish I would have got to demo it.
And on to the next thing. We've got Apex Legends Season 3. The trailer came out, cinematic. We all were very impressed with it, right?
Whoever that animation company, but they need to make an Apex animated series like
man.
Overwatch
I
has a
would
little
watch
one.
that.
Yeah, like
I would so watch that.
That trailer we just saw, I felt like I was watching an actual show. I was like, this is dope as hell. And they, like you said, they gave the characters personalities of their own,
which they've had, but now they've got way more.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for the actual gameplay.
I don't think you noticed it, but at literally like the 10 or 9 second mark, I think Octane is playing Titanfall 2.
Oh, is he?
He was playing a game. He was playing Titanfall 2. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, we didn't see any gameplay, but we saw new character. What is his name? Crypto.
Yeah.
Asian guy, which I was like, oh, cool.
Looks badass. Yeah.
Finally, got an Asian guy in the game. And then you had basically a preview of the maps. You got to see the locations. They're quite varied. I wonder if
it's an accurate representation. I am really excited.
I mean, they've had a water-filled area. They have a volcanic area.
It's
they have
all the elements for the most part.
Yeah.
There was that water place as well where there was water spouting up and you could use it as a form of travel.
There's kind of a rocky terrain with crystals.
There's a train that moves and you could. Oh, I'm so excited, man.
So, I'm excited for that train one, dude. Like, have you played? So I guess season 2 or like the latest I played is like when you can jump off, you can like jump into one of the vortexes that like shoots you all the way, like not across the map, but it takes you like super far. So
no,
I'm not sure if that'll be in this next season, but it might have just been a limited run. Like it was like what's her name? The one that
I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was like you literally could.
You mean Watson?
Yeah, no, not Watson. The one that could teleport.
Oh, the Wraith.
Wraith. It's like a huge Wraith portal you jump into, and then like your whole team can travel, and it like teleports you like through everything, and then you like end up in a spot. So I don't know if that'll still be there, but if they're kind of using like transportation method for like the water, like you jump
that'd be cool,
go into it, and then it like shoots you off. I'm excited about that.
I'm kind of surprised they already have a new map. Usually it's like they use the same map and they change it around.
Yeah, it's not even been a year yet.
Yeah, it's season 3 only. The question is, are they going to still allow people to play the first map?
If they're smart.
Because you know how upset people get because they spent so much time learning a map. That if suddenly it gets cut off, I mean,
you've got your techniques and stuff that you've learned. I'm always excited to learn about the new stuff. But I mean, I look at other like battle royale games, and usually they have it as a choice. You can choose which map you want to join. I guess it all really comes down to how busy the servers are. You know what I mean? I can see them having both maps up. This is all speculation. I don't know if how they're going to do it, but if they have both maps up, I can see them saying, "Hey, like, look, these servers are pretty empty. We'll shut down this map."
I doubt it. There's people who always want to play
hard.
The old stuff.
I could see them either because how they introduced recently the that mode where you can only use shotguns and low ammo and stuff like that. I could see them being just doing a different variation of that where it's just that map and you can only have a certain amount of. You can only use a certain type of weapon or only get in certain type of armor or something like that where you can still use a map, but it's different features to where you're not just playing the same thing and you're kind of making...
I enjoyed that shotguns and snipers round. That was awesome.
That was all me because my to-go-to is a Peacekeeper because I'm not necessarily not trash at... I'm not trash at using other weapons, but the Peacekeeper, you get me close range to somebody, get a digital threat thing on it.
You get that hop up on it.
You're like, come on, boy, come on, let's do this. But that's the mode I use because I'm
Peacekeeper longbow combo, man, always.
So the season 3 is called Meltdown. The new place, the new map is called World's Edge. I'm not sure. It'll be arriving October 1st, which is next week. So not too far off. And with that new legend, Crypto.
We spoke about Crypto a couple weeks ago, I think. But just the overview, he uses a drone and a charge rifle weapon, in case anyone was wondering.
and his name is Crypto, so he probably has his own type of currency.
Oh,
but yeah.
So yeah, we will check out that next week and talk about it more as well.
I'll definitely be playing a lot of it when it comes out
on Xbox.
Sorry,
God
Dorian.
damn.
Sorry, waiting for that crossplay. Make it happen.
I mean, it's only happened with Fortnite, so
true, yeah.
You got to get Apex Legends to that level.
Come on, Apex. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, I want to play with my. I wonder
Xbox what the updated
friends.
numbers are right now for Apex versus Fortnite. I feel like Fortnite's feeling the heat. I mean, obviously it's still more popular, but they're feeling the heat.
In terms of like streamers and money it's making, Fortnite's still killing it, especially in terms of money. I mean, but in terms like coverage from streamers, if you're looking at like Twitch or even Mixer, it's still a whole lot of Fortnite. Yeah.
Speaking of Twitch and Mixer, side note before we go into the next topic, it was funny because Ninja was on the Masked Singer,
I saw that.
first one eliminated, and Nick Cannon was like Twitch super, or like he was like Twitch superstar, like Ninja, and then like somebody was like, oh, Twitch, or he's like with Mixer now, and Ninja was like, I'm still the most followed person on Twitch, even though like I'm not on it anymore.
Now I'm on Mixer.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I saw him in a video earlier this week on, I think it was one of the late shows. And when we first covered him moving to Mixer, we had a lot of speculations that are now, for me at least, cleared up. Like he came out and rightfully said, yes, he's going to have a lot of Microsoft exclusives. He's going to be playing all the games way early.
Why wouldn't he?
He's so happy about that. Like I would be too.
Of course, it makes sense. They're going to pay him a ton of money.
Yeah, and he wants to do it. Like he was so happy to play Gears early. Like
I mean, and he's not. Yeah, it's not selling out if he genuinely wants to play the game. So I feel Gears 5 is dope.
Yeah. And probably, I mean, maybe in the back of his mind, secretly, he probably can't say this. He's probably like, getting a little tired of Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, I've been playing this thing so much. I want to play something else. And then now it's like...
I wonder if that's how he felt about Halo when he was when he was still a pro Halo player.
Maybe.
It's possible. I
mean, it's not that you don't like it anymore, right? Some of your favorite games you played over and over and over, and you still love playing it.
It's become a job. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And you maybe just want to change things up a little bit. And
you want to not play for 10 hours at a time.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting stuff with Apex Legends. You know, already doing so much in its first year, less than a year.
Making moves, and I'm decent at that game. So
I'm much better at that game than I am at Fortnite.
Yeah, I really enjoy the gameplay. It was nice. Yeah,
more up my speed. So yeah, let's talk more about season 3 after we got to play it next week and see where we're at.
Maybe let's do some Twitch or Mixer. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Where do we lie? Where's our stance?
Let's see where next Friday. Let's see if we can carve out a chunk of time where we can. How many Xboxes do we have here?
I have one.
I have one in my office.
We have the solo one and the Incredibles one.
Yeah, I have the Incredibles one.
I have one at home I can bring in.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we can, like, 3 of us hop on and play.
And then Jack has one. Yeah, we have enough. Yeah, we have enough to play.
Yeah, maybe we'll carve out some time and play some season 3 Apex. Stream it, and then just.
Caboose won't be able to hold the weight, so
I know. You two can hold my weight.
Yeah.
You two can hold my weight because last time
I have a bad habit of kind of veering away from people.
That's not a good idea.
But that's why I like playing as Pathfinder, so I can just quickly zip line back to you guys and be like, I'm here.
All right. Next topic is something I mentioned at the top of the show. I was in San Jose the last couple of days.
Yes, sir.
For Oculus Connect, which, by the way, is my first time there. Best run conference. It's crazy.
I watched a bit of it on Facebook.
It's crazy just how smooth and how everything is done there. Like
well organized.
It's super well. They have an app for it. I was telling Jack.
They have an app?
Yeah, they have an app. Well, I mean, Comic-Con has an app, but their app is way better than most apps that you have to use every day. That app you use for 2 days, right?
Well, I mean, Comic-Con is Comic-Con, and the Oculus Connect is a tech company. So
yeah, exactly.
I would hope so.
Yeah, but I mean, Comic-Con is much larger in terms of reach. And
is it like the Microsoft app? Like do you use the Xbox Microsoft app? Is it anything like that?
I'm not sure, but this app is specifically just for Connect because there's an Oculus app that you need for like if you have a Quest or whatever, and you can change up different settings in it from your phone. You can cast from your Quest to your phone as well. This is just for that event, and it has like scheduling. You can add stuff, and then what we did. One of the main reasons we went was for networking purposes.
Of course, yeah.
Because we're working on our own VR games.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks VR, and then a few other things I can't mention. But like just changing information, it has like a little like thing in there where you can scan like basically a QR code from someone else, and you guys swap information.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's just specifically to this app, to this event, So everything was super. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was fun, and a lot of work got done. So the first day, I have to be honest, we got there. We left here like 4:30 in the morning. Took a flight there and went straight there. So we were carrying our luggage the whole time.
Damn.
Which I've never done before, and I've seen other people do it at other conventions and conferences, and I was like, damn, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? So that was a pain. We were super tired, so I think we weren't as productive that first day, but the second day we definitely made up for it. The first day we went to the keynote, we saw Mark Zuckerberg for the keynote speech.
I watched that one, yeah.
And he announced several big things. One I thought was huge is the Oculus Link, which is basically turns your Quest into a Rift. So if people don't know, the Oculus Quest is the mobile version where it's a
more affordable,
a standalone device. You don't need a laptop, you don't need cables, it's untethered, but
less resource heavy.
It's the trade-off is it's not as powerful, and the graphics just aren't as good. I mean, there's a lot of things they've done to like help make up for it, and it's a pretty good experience. We keep saying it's the game changer. But one of the criticisms I would have, because even the graphics thing doesn't bother me that much because they're still pretty good enough.
Well, I think the immersion covers for the lack of graphics.
Yeah. The one critique you would have for it is it just doesn't have that many games. The Quest store is more curated. There's less games on there. With the Oculus Link cable, you can connect basically to the Oculus store on your PC, and any games you buy for the Rift, you can play on your Quest.
Oh, damn.
Will it be the same? Streaming?
It's via cable. So you don't get the untetheredness, but now you suddenly have the library of Oculus Rift on a Quest.
I would imagine just a not too expensive update, you know what I mean?
No, well, the update is free.
Yeah.
It's a software.
I mean, the cable
is I think it's an $80 cable.
That's so worth it. That's still cheaper than a Rift.
And I think you can, from what I remember, you can actually use a regular USB-C cable. The only difference is it won't carry power over it, I think.
Yeah, that was my question. It was like, how will it be able to be as quality as the Rift, like when you're playing those games? Like,
yeah, because basically now your PC is doing all the power, and then the Quest is just a visual device.
So if you're using the USB-C, you're still limited to your battery time.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. But if you have a USB-C cable, that's fine. But if you want to, if you want to charge it, you can play as long as you want. You buy the $80 cable, and now you have the library of the Rift, which is much bigger. Plus, you have better graphics. So it's funny because now we're mentioning like, well, there's kind of no point of having a Rift anymore because you just buy a Quest and a cable, right? Because now you have the only reason is if you really, really are bothered by the weight of the Quest, because the Quest is heavier because it has all the processing power in there. I don't think it's super, super heavy, but it's heavier than the Rift because that one's just a display. Other than that, I see no reason to get a Rift.
I've spent a good 2 hours in the Quest, and only after 2 hours do I start kind of feeling the weight on my head.
Yeah.
You know? But then again, it's one of those things where like immersion takes over and you're not even like focused on that, you know?
Yeah.
You're so in the game you're playing.
So that was one of the big announcements there. Another big announcement that one has an immediate impact because that comes out in November. I think the update plus the cable, and that's just going to sell a ton more Quests.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are like, oh, now I can do this and that? Okay, fine. Sign me up. The other one is actually can be considered bigger than that, but you're not going to see the effect of it until...
Is it...
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hand tracking. So
did you get to try any of it, or?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So hand tracking, for people who don't know, is where you don't have the controllers and the cameras on the Quest actually pick up where your hands are, and you can have, the graphical representation of your hand. So then you can start playing things without controllers, and you can do multiple different kind of things, right? Like, with the controller, you're mimicking stuff, right? You're pressing buttons, you're using the control pad, clicking triggers. Like if you want to pick up something, you hold the trigger, etc. This is like you're using your hand and you pick something up like a hand. So you're suddenly, it feels like kind of weird, because when I did the demo, it was like, it feels so weird not to have a controller in your hand, but the application use is going to be, great.
I mean, I can see this doing wonders for haptic feedback. You know what I mean? Like it's if you were to create haptic gloves, you wouldn't have to worry so much on tracking, and more so just on the gloves interacting with the object in virtual reality. You know what I mean? Just to have that slight like tension when you're picking something up. Like, oh, I can't wait for the future.
Yes.
See, I feel like a complete dumbass, because when I saw like a little like snippet of it, or like when y'all were talking about it, I was like,
whatever.
I didn't realize like the cameras were picking. I was like, what is this going to do? But now you just explained. I was like, oh, that's
so imagine, cool. Just think about, especially kind of like, have you done the Void yet?
Yeah. I've done the Wreck-It Ralph one.
Okay, well, the Wreck-It Ralph and the Star Wars, they have the same gameplay mechanic. The Void VR uses hand tracking, but obviously the Void has like a giant backpack. They have the whole thing. You got to go there. So imagine now you can buy an gun accessory, and you use that with your hands. So now instead of like a controller, which you're kind of mimicking a gun, it's an actual gun, and then you just pick it up and do this action.
That's a game changer.
Yes,
it really
is. The technology still needs to be worked out and refined. It's still in early stages. It's not going to be released until next year, but the implications of what you can do with it,
it's exciting.
Yeah.
And also for people like that are handicapped, like that can't grab or don't have the full strength in their wrists and stuff. Now they have like option to just have their hands, use them like that. Damn, that's dope.
I think I know a while ago we were talking about the what was it, the touch controllers for that Steam's doing with their rig. What's that called again?
They have the Knuckles.
The Knuckles, yeah. I remember saying that I was really excited for those, because you've at least got tracking on these three fingers. Yeah. Which, like I said back then, and I'll reiterate it now. It's so nice to have hand tracking, because you do so much communication with your hands. You two go that way. You know what I mean? Like, eyes on you kind of thing. You can flip people. Like I was with you. You can flip people off. You can like hang loose. You know what I mean? A lot of communication happens through your hands, and that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that they're going to be able to do with it. They just got to get the technology. So that was another big announcement. Another thing that happened was we've been kind of waiting. Vader Immortal Episode 1 was a launch title. They put a lot of money. ILM, XLab.
The graphics are great on the Quest. That looked phenomenal.
So they released that game on launch day on the Quest. It was exclusive for Quest for a month or two, and then eventually it came to the Rift. They basically announced, oh, by the way, it's available now, that day. And so me and Mark, when we got back to our Airbnb, we ended up playing it and then doing a review of it, which is actually it's actually not on the games channel.
It's on the main channel.
It's on the main channel.
Oh, nice.
I'll probably go get that and upload it to the games channel as well. But yeah, that game is kind of like a great example of what you can do with the Quest and VR in general, where it's like it looks great. It's a story-driven thing, but the gameplay mechanics are very good. But yeah, they had been like, we didn't know when it was coming out. Comic-Con, they didn't say. I think D23 they didn't say. Star Wars Celebration they didn't say. They gave like previews of it, and finally they announced it.
Oh wow! So they must have had a good deal there,
Yeah.
Which is because especially for Star Wars Day, and well, like you said, everything for them not to mention it until now, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
What do you think of it, or without spoiling anything?
I thought I thought it was really good. The only complaint I have is that it is a little easy The first game itself wasn't very hard either, but this one's even easier because you have force powers now.
Yeah, is it longer than the first episode?
It's about the same.
Okay,
it's about the same. But
how satisfying is it with the force
It's cool
powers?
because you're doing
Can you be a Sith and use the electricity?
Not yet, at least not. But you can
Force
grab
push
stuff.
okay.
If you've been playing Control, the console game by
I really need
Remedy
to get into that,
Entertainment,
yeah.
it's like that. So it's similar to that where you can pick stuff up, throw it at people.
You got to try that, the hand movements, like you were saying, the hand tracking. For me, my question with that is, I would imagine it can kind of throw you a little out when you pick something up and you're holding it, but then you can just do this.
Yeah.
For those who are listening, I just clenched my hand. Like, I wonder if that takes you out of it. Like, you're holding a sword, for instance, but you can like hold your fist all the way. I don't know, like.
I think that's why
does your brain like instinctively just kind of leave that gap there?
The demo that I did didn't have much of that. It was more of a general.
Look at your hands. Look at how it moves.
Just because it was for enterprise use, it was just like pressing buttons and whatnot.
Okay.
And so, I think it's more for getting, at least for the enterprise use. It's more for getting people who have no VR experience, that know nothing about controllers. For us, it's natural, right? We play a lot of games. It takes a few seconds to pick up. For them, it's like, okay, well, they know how to use their hands because
and they know how to push buttons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's kind of the thing, at least for enterprise. I do think there are some things they need to go through from the.
But like I said, third parties are going to step in at some point.
Yes.
Well, I can easily within the next 3 years see some like prototype haptic gloves coming out.
Yeah.
I know people have been working on haptic feedback for years, but I genuinely see it coming to the commercial.
Yeah, imagine if you have a glove and like you do clench something, you can't.
And you feel a slight constriction, even if it's slight. You know what I mean? Just to know that's going to be so immersive.
Yeah. Last thing about Oculus Connect, they announced during the keynote Medal of Honor from Respawn.
You were talking about this.
Yeah, Respawn is doing a VR game, and we got to play it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
The Medal of Honor series, all the way going back to like the late 90s even, when I started playing Medal of Honor, it's one of my favorite series.
You're going to love this because now it's even more immersive because, you can get like a machine gun, pull it from the back.
What era is it set in?
I think it's World War II.
Okay, like that's the one. That's where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you can fire that gun. You pull pistols from your sides, clips. You actually pull.
You're actually
reloading.
You're loading your magazines. Oh,
exactly.
That's so sick. Yeah.
Oh, grenades. Jack was
pulling the pin.
Jack was going nuts over it. He was doing the like grenade pull pin from mouth.
Oh my god.
Throw. He liked doing the underhand like roll in thing. He went nuts for that.
That's great.
But I mean, when I played it, like a lot of Respawn games, the controls are smooth, buttery smooth. The aiming, you get there. It's different than you have an FPS on like a console, right? And when you aim, right, you pull the left trigger, it zooms in, and then you just kind of aim. This one, you're physically picking up the gun to the exact spot you want. So to aim it, you actually have to have a lot more skill than just, you know what I mean? Like putting crosshairs on someone. You gotta.
And as usual, it gives you the freedom to obviously not have to do that. I would imagine, like you can just point behind you and shoot, and probably not hit anybody.
Yes.
But if you wanted to, you could.
You could, but But I mean, it takes actual like eye-hand, like real
skill.
eye-hand coordination.
You line up the dots and everything.
It's like
awesome.
a real gun.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah. So it's not one of those like, all right, I'm just gonna blast through everyone. It's like no. Oh, you can crouch. Like I was crouching.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And I was like hiding behind corners. You know what I mean? Like you actually have to take a very realistic
approach.
Like I felt like, oh my god,
you can't just stand there guns blazing.
Have you guys ever played like paintball?
Yeah, I love paintball.
I got that sensation out of it.
Oh wow.
Right? Like okay, I'm gonna. You know what I mean? Like I'm high. Like you're just more physically immersed into it.
It sounds like to compare it to like you play Blood and Truth. Is it like that in a way, like on a higher scale, more interactive?
Yeah, because I think in Blood and Truth, I remember it's on rails.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of move you for you, do the movement for you. This one, you move yourself.
Okay, cool.
I mean, there's teleportation, Well, actually, was there? No, there wasn't. It was locomotion, which you use the trigger to move around.
Okay.
But if you wanted to, you could like. Well, I don't know. It was very cool. So that's it. My Oculus Connect experience. It was only 2 days, but it felt like we were there for a week just because we like got up so early in the morning, both today and on the day we left. So it was like we're in and out of there, but we did so much.
I remember the first time I heard about Oculus was around 2011, 2012. I was way back then, and I still remember reading up on it, looking my dad in the face and being like, "We need to invest. We need to invest now." And then years later, Facebook buys it. I looked my dad square in the face and I said, "Yeah, we lost our chance. Yeah. Okay, we could have been somewhere." But my question then is, and this is a little not so gaming related, still VR related. There's a lot of social rooms for virtual reality. Do you think Facebook's ever gonna?
Oh, they already announced it.
They did?
Facebook Horizons. They basically are like, okay.
Oh, you know, I do remember that. Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, they're tying Facebook into VR, specifically Oculus.
I'd love that. I'd love.
So they're making rooms where you socialize, where it's not gaming stuff.
Hopefully, I'd imagine with your Facebook friends, you know, like people you already know and stuff. Yeah. That's gonna be tight. I'd be down for that.
How many of your friends are gonna have?
But they won't now. But in the future, they will.
Down the road.
Yes, down
maybe
the
I'll
road.
have maybe I'll have friends down the road.
Yeah.
I can also see them if they really wanted to. They could probably port it to like some cell phones and stuff for like.
Yeah,
3D
I mean,
looking
they still have the Oculus Go. They have, you know what I mean. But definitely, it's mainly for people with the. I mean, you can do it with the Rift. Quest Go.
I mean, there'll be no shit posting. There'll be no. I would imagine that though. People walking up to like, look at this meme, like in virtual reality.
But yeah, you customize your own avatar. You know, we're really getting to that.
Kind of makes me think of the old. What was it? The
Can't wait for the Russians to hack us.
PlayStation used to have like a. Was it the PlayStation Playground or something? I never got to use it much because I didn't have internet. It was on the PS3. It was their like social hub.
Yeah. I mean, this is taking it to another level. I mean, did you watch Wreck-It Ralph 2, the second one?
Yes.
That breaks in? It's like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like them. It's like them. You know,
like a little like a version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Walking around our world, and then you can meet up and chat with people.
Especially like the Facebook groups. That'd be nice to like enter into an actual Facebook group and talk to people about interests that you share. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Facebook's Horizons is what it's called. But yeah, another step. They're doing a lot of stuff. When you have a company as large as Facebook behind you, you can do a lot.
Oh yeah,
both technology and software.
Way more funds, you know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly. And so very exciting.
Is your internet working?
Let me check. I don't think so. Why?
Because my internet's not working.
I think.
You're looking for those Twitter questions.
I gotta pull them up on my phone.
Yeah, my internet is not working. So yeah, let's get to those Twitter questions.
All right, we only got 2 today, so it's not.
All right, cool.
All right, so in the first one we already kind of talked about. So Mario Rotgers asked, which of the 2 franchises could be the face of Naughty Dog when it's all said and done? The Last of Us or Uncharted? Also, what story do you like best between the 2?
Crash Bandicoot. I'm joking.
You can't put two
I'm pretty sure they sold that IP.
Come on, Dorian. They're pitting the 2 against you got to choose.
There's 4 Uncharted games compared.
And there's a movie coming out as well.
Yeah, unless you're talking about the first Uncharted versus the first Last of Us, I would say the first Last of Us if I had to pick between the 2.
Okay, but which one's the face though?
Which one's the face of?
Because I feel like I've played both Uncharted and Last of Us. I feel like Last of Us is a better game, but Uncharted's more of the face.
Because there's more. Because
it's more like a mascot almost for the company.
Not only that, it's more accessible, right? It's not like killing zombies and it's dark and post-apocalyptic. Where Uncharted's like this fun vibe to it, right?
That's fair.
A bigger market. It's got a more open market.
Yeah,
that's fair
in terms of people. That makes sense. Yeah.
But he said when it's all said and done. So I'm thinking after The Last of Us 2, when The Last of Us 2 comes out, that'll solidify it as the face of Naughty Dog.
Okay.
What about you, Josh?
I don't know, man. Like even though I prefer The Last of Us, I kind of see it still their face being Uncharted, unless they just don't come up with another game.
And then the fact that they have a movie coming out for it too. That just got to hopefully Travis Knight will be directing it.
I mean, this isn't really gaming news, but we all I don't know if you guys. I'm excited that Sony and Marvel were able to put their differences aside for one more movie.
Yeah.
At least finish the trilogy, which I'm happy about. In reference to Spider-Man, for those who are listening.
Yeah, he's got one more Spider-Man movie, and then he has one more appearance,
one more cameo. Yeah,
whether it's like another Avengers movie or whatnot.
I think they're going to use that as a way to kind of tie off his story, or like close him off, kill him off pretty much. I guess.
And then Miles Morales, come on. Yeah. And then the
next
gonna
be
one,
Sony though.
Yeah,
that's true. Next one is Motor World Hype, and his question is: F, marry, kill racing game franchises. Between Forza Motorsport, Horizon, Need for Speed, and Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran Turismo.
Oh man, I'm not a huge driving game, so I'm gonna have to take different ones from the ones he's talking about, because like my favorite driving games have been like
Mario Kart.
Daytona.
Did you ever play Driver?
No, I didn't play Driver.
Driver San Francisco was an amazing game, and it's so difficult to find that online. Like, they completely took it off. Like, you can't. The only way to buy that game is secondhand from somebody who has the game. But that was a great game as well.
Yeah, like for me, like Sega Rally, Crazy Taxi, like those.
Oh, dude, Crazy Taxi.
Like those are my type. Like
Spent
more
a lot of money on that.
I like more arcadey style driving games versus the kind of realistic sim games. 'Cause I'm actually not a person who's really into cars. To me, like a car is takes you to a place that you need to go, and that's why you need it. Versus like my car is my baby, and you know what I mean. I don't know much about cars. So.
For me, man, Need for Speed has just been so disappointing the past couple games. So I wouldn't even consider that. What were the other three options? Gran Turismo. Gran
Turismo.
That's like, if you're looking for the peak like driving simulator game, that's always been Gran Turismo for me, man. I have flashbacks on like PS2 days, where you would do like full-on championships, and you would get your best lap time, and you would leave your PlayStation 2 on for like 5 hours to finish the race and go do something else and come back, and then be like, okay, the race is done. You just hope that your fastest lap time was able to stick through with you to the end. What was the other two options? It was Forza and
Need for Speed and Gran Turismo.
Is it just those three?
Yeah, because it's like giving you F, marry, kill. So you have to like.
Forza's a bit more. I'd say in terms of like a racing game for people to just get into, I'm gonna have to say Forza for sure. I really enjoyed that. Anybody can kind of jump into that. If I had to choose my favorite racing game in terms of recent racing games, it was the Dirt series, Colin McRae Dirt series. Those are good, but those were like rally racing games. Forza had a fun update with they had a Hot Wheels special, which was really cool. They had these like Hot Wheels racing tracks. But in terms of dividing the two, in terms of realism, Gran Turismo definitely. For fun, I'd say Forza. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any options. I'd say Crash Bandicoot, favorite racing game.
Remaster Need for Speed Underground 2. God damn it!
All right.
I recently played that Monster Super Motocross.
Oh yeah,
a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
it was all right. I'm trashing motorcycle games
too. Some
people
love car games. To me, the best car games are the ones at the arcades because you got the steering wheel. But I'm not like so into them that I'm gonna buy the steering wheel accessory.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I like the ones, steering wheel plus like even the ones you pay more for where the whole thing shifts around.
I like racing games that are inside of other games. Like it's a component of the game, but you're not
like driving, like Grand Theft Auto has driving
something
component.
Like that, or like
I'm terrible at them though. I'm so terrible.
I spoke about something recently. Grand Theft Auto. I like the racing in that. I spoke about something recently that I felt like I almost made it up for a second. But a lot of the old school Mortal Kombat games used to have a racing minigame in them. Do any of you guys remember that?
I do not remember that.
There's like some of them had like I think it was 2 or 3 Mortal Kombats had an actual racing minigame in the games. Like that's back to like PS2 days.
Interesting.
One day they just decided we don't need that anymore, which fair enough. It's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So all right. Before we go, you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about? Games you're playing or games you're looking forward to?
Games I'm playing right now. I'm still playing Gears 5.
Did you play more of Borderlands 3?
No, I haven't got back to that yet.
How about you?
I have been out of commission the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
I just got back the other day. Gaming wise, I played a bit of Apex and. Digimon World, New Order, which was basically a remaster of the OG Digimon World.
Wait. On what platform and what's the storyline?
Well, if you ever, so the first Digimon World game came out, I think, like 1999 on the PlayStation. Loved that game, and it's just a more intense Tamagotchi. That's the best way of putting it. It's just a really intense Tamagotchi. Your Digimon will die over and over again. They took that and they gave it a whole new story, but it's more or less the same game. It's like a Tamagotchi. That's the best way I can put it. I just have fun feeding my Digimon, making them go poop.
Question.
Normal
side
stuff.
question. Do you agree with me on this? Pokemon has the better video games. Digimon has the better TV series.
Yes. And yes, actually, I was gonna say recently, like the Pokemon's still killing it because they stuck to their guns and like what's good. Digimon's been trying new stuff. Digimon has an amazing series called, I think, Cyber Sleuth, which is essentially the Persona series. It's just a turn-based combat game, and I really enjoy that too. But they're kind of different, I'd say. Pokemon, if you like, yeah, I don't know. Digimon definitely had the better series, but
You think they have the better games now too?
No, it's kind of difficult to say now. But back in the day, for sure, Pokemon had the better games. But nowadays, like the Digimon Cyber Sleuth series is a really good turn-based combat game. I really enjoy that. It's a good story as well.
Well, we'll make that decision when Nintendo wants to give me a Switch so I can decide and play Pokemon.
Make that too,
Sword
please.
and Shield. Anyway, sorry about that. All right.
I want Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee.
Nah, I saw that. Wendy has it, and I played it for a little bit. I was like, this is not enough to make me want to buy a Switch. Yeah, it's like a rehash
of Yellow.
What about
Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
That was close, but
I had fun playing that with my friend the other day, actually.
I was close, and you could do co-op, and you can do friends and stuff. We don't have them, so I was like, nah, I don't need a...
Mark wants to get one for Jedi Outcast.
What, a Switch?
Yeah, just to play that.
A Switch for would it be for the company? Would it be everybody gets it?
I'm sure it's personal.
All right,
purchase.
well, then that doesn't help me out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Other than that, though, I've been playing a lot of tabletop RPG games, so I'm still staring at you, Dorian, because you're going to join us one of these days.
One day, I'll learn how to play. I got to figure out how to play D&D.
We've been playing a lot of Iron Kingdoms, which is a pretty intense tabletop RPG game.
All right, guys. That's it for this episode of the Collider Games podcast. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec, because Parks and Rec is better than The Office. And you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks. And, of course, you always can find me here, Collider Games.
Josh?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's, I spaced for a second. Josh.
He's like, you forgot your name?
It's josh.toki. That's on Instagram. And then you guys can catch me on Twitch sometimes at josh_toki.
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero or Instagram, Dennis.tzng. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/ColliderGames. And also subscribe to our podcast feed, Collider Factory. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.